God damn.
Why do we always find out the weirdest shit at the start of the show every time?
You gotta love our pre-shows. You gotta love the pre-shows.
Really need to start putting that shit on Discord. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that technical arrangement between it's your boy Trey Prop.
This weekend hurt.
If you don't turn that reverb down, it's Mr. Petty.
Let me have my fun.
Hello to all my ratchet friends. I'm Amore.
Let's go. Keep going.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us here live on Blerds and Whiskey. We got a great show lined up for you as always. But first things first, as we get it started, and I have not pulled it up yet, let's get into our drinks of the week. I am revisiting Jameson Orange. It is a delicious beverage to me. I've enjoyed it very much so far, and I'm being lazy with my drink mixing. So shout out to Mr. Petty and Rick Stroke, because they're going to have some tutorials coming up for us eventually at some point. But I took some Arizona Orangeade, where'd it go? Fuck. Took some lime juice. And the Jameson.
It's citrus on top of citrus on top of citrus.
I like citrus. What?
You always
drink a screwdriver.
And there's a reason why Rick and Cam have their own show. So they can give us a tutorial on how to mix a drink.
You can repeat exactly what I just said.
Apple.
My stomach hurts.
With Crown Apple, and that's it. So
I decided to take several liquors and then a sour mix and Coke and made a Long Island. So this is what I got going on. Strong Island, here we go.
Great.
I'm drinking lemonade.
Okay.
Spiked lemonade. Ha!
It's regular ass lemonade. And it's the ghetto version too. It's the Walmart.
Oh no.
American.
No, I thought, okay, side note. I thought Country Time was the ghetto lemonade.
No. This is the Section 8 version right here. Yeah.
I know. Hey, put that in the comment section. What do y'all think was the ghetto lemonade? 'Cause I always thought like Country Time, it's powder. It's not even lemonade. It's powder. And
no. The ghetto lemonade was the Kool-Aid version. Because remember, they used to make a Kool-Aid version. If you had that Country Time, you were still in the struggle, but it wasn't the ghetto version. It was just lemon flavor, and you had to add.
I mean, it was lemon flavored powder. How is it lemonade? I don't know. I digress.
Country Time, you didn't have to add sugar to it. Kool-Aid lemonade, you literally had to add a half a bag of sugar to it. So,
well, that's all Kool-Aid. Yeah,
diabetes.
Yeah. If you can see the bottom of your cup, they didn't put no sugar in it.
Exactly.
Gather around, children. Here's a tale of Rick Stroh's drinks.
You gotta let him do it naturally.
You gotta let him do it, because now he's just gonna say
otherwise he's not gonna do it.
It's a tale of intrigue, suspense, and the last time the Raiders were good in 2002, it's a Hennessy and Coke. Take that, good Donnie.
Shots fired.
All right. Okay. So checking the comments on YouTube, Ebony Wiggins, when is Cam and Rick show starting? We don't know yet. But it's coming down the pike. Jamaica F. Turkey Hill is her vote.
Ooh, and Turkey Hill.
You know, real quick, Trey. I'm sorry. I'm gonna hold me and Cam's feet to the fire on this one. I'm gonna say 2 weeks. It'll be here in 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. I'm looking forward to learning from you two. All jokes and shade aside, you two and maybe one other person who I'm not going to mention here is make the best drinks for me. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm truly looking forward to it. And lastly, Genocide Circus on YouTube. Ghetto lemonade was water, sugar, and not enough lemon juice. That's pretty ghetto.
Yeah. Like using your mom's lemon juice, and she mad at you because now she can't make tea properly because you use them all lemon juice.
I still do it. I still
take it back. The ultimate ghetto lemonade is when you go to a restaurant and ask for water and lemon. And you make your own lemonade at the table. That's the ultimate ghetto lemonade. I take it all back.
Do you want lemonade? No, I want lemon and water. And a packet of sugar.
Listen, that's called...
We get 4 lemon wedges.
Lemon wedges.
Four. I did it at Ruby Tuesdays when I was in college, and I ordered 8.
Damn.
I call
Good
that
shit.
a college relaxer.
Hey, it works. It works. All right, Weekend Herb, what you got for us?
All righty. As always, Herb's Blerds. Go on, like, share, subscribe on my YouTube page. This week, we talk about one of the topics that we are going to talk about today. So like, share, subscribe on YouTube, and yeah, thanks. CastleCon, February 18th through the 20th at the Gaylord National Hotel. Tickets are on sale at katsucon.org. HBCUCon is going to be taking place at Bowie State University on April 29th through May 1st. Tickets start at $15.
Tickets. Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Purchase your ticket. Tickets start off at $15 on the website is hbcucon.org for details. BlerCon homecoming is July 8th through the 10th. It's going to be taking place at Hyatt's Regency, Crystal City. Tickets.
You almost say Hyatt.
He did.
I said Hyatt's.
No,
The Hyattsville Regency?
Yeah, the Hyattsville Regency. What the fuck, Herb? Hyatt Regency in Crystal City. Tickets start at $65 for full weekend passes. Go to blurcon.com for more details. So, in the news, is Shane McMahon going to AEW after the bullshit that he just pulled off at the Royal Rumble?
Wait, that's news? No, there goes the money. Shane McMahon is nepotism 101 gone wrong. He is not going to go anywhere. He'll probably do some joint capital venture. He'll probably do some media thing. He might get an app or two, but he ain't going to AEW. Like,
so can I give a little bit of context? So last week at the Royal Rumble, Triple H wasn't around to produce the Royal Rumble match as he normally was. That's why it was so bad. And it was Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon was the lead producer on it. It was supposed to be him and Jamie Noble. He spent the whole time throwing Jamie Noble under the bus and tried to build the match under himself, which has created a very, very low morale and a bad environment in the locker room in WWE. So essentially, Vince McMahon had no choice but to fire his own son again. And so thus putting Shane out on his ass. Now, a low rumbling rumor that I've heard is that Shane is trying to restart WCW. And that came out, I believe, yesterday. Wow. Yeah, so apparently he got kicked out of the house and said, "Fine, Dad, I'm just gonna steal some of your shit and I'm gonna start my own thing." So
can he legally restart WCW? Does he own any of
according to Invasion in 2001?
Dear God.
I think legally he does. I believe legally his name is on the paperwork for WCW. I believe he's one of the names that's on there. So I'm pretty sure there's some type of finagling that he can do to say that he has the rights. I'm pretty sure the trademark on WCW has lapsed at some point because Vince McMahon is too busy with selling off wrestlers and other WWE assets to keep up with companies that he stomped out. So I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some truth to that rumor. It may not go off as planned because Vince is a very, very petty old man and he'll do something terrible to Shane before he lets him restart WCW.
Okay, but not for nothing. Shane, I'm not saying he deserved to be fired, but I'm not surprised that he got fired because like he essentially tried to make the Royal Rumble. He was of the three finalists in the Royal Rumble and tried to make it about him. He tried to insert himself into the WrestleMania storyline. And I'm over here like, yo, what? Like,
well, isn't that like father, like son?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, well, one, his dad is probably a better character than he will ever be. Two, his dad inserted himself into to make himself the ultimate bad guy. Shane probably tries to make himself like the ultimate badass. Like Shane probably sees himself in like a Ken Shamrock or Brock Lesnar level, and it's crazy. Like like I said, the nepotism is out of control there. It's a product of that environment because y'all forget like it used to be like just four core people that was part of that whole dynasty. It was Shane, Linda, Stephanie, and Vince. It used to be that was it. That was the core. It was going to be a family business, and then it expanded to like, producers and writer teams.
No, Paul had to come in there swinging his dick. You know what happened?
Yeah, well, yeah, Paul definitely inserted himself into the company business. And not for nothing, I wonder if he regrets that now, though. He's gonna be like,
wait, I have another question before we
played
go
the long game for nothing.
As far as damn, I done fucked around and forgot my damn question.
Well, did it have something with the family dynamic and who's gonna own it?
No, I remember now. So, how many times has Shane gotten fired in fairness? Like, his father has fired him multiple times, and he just comes back after like a good, decent time has lapsed, and people have forgotten what he did.
Yeah, but
so it's like
that's usually with all wrestling. I mean, because look at Hulk Hogan.
Okay, but they're not
related.
Owner.
They're not related, but I'm saying like it does that a lot with different wrestlers.
Okay. Let me put this in perspective then. You love Miles, right?
No, I'm not firing Miles. I'm not firing.
If your shareholders told you to, you would have to fire.
But think of how badly he would have to mess up for you to fire your son.
Yeah.
But let's say we become a publicly traded show, right? Publicly traded show, and you hire Miles onto the writing team, and Miles begins to insert Sonic into everything. Literally, it's like
I'm firing
Sonic, it goes from Blerds and Whiskey to Sonic and Whiskey. Like, we're talking about who do you like better, Ugandan Knuckles or Shadow the Hedgehog? Like, it just like all of that shit. So you telling me it's just hey, look, that's my boy running my shit right into the ground.
real quick, checking out the comments over on YouTube. Boston Science, hello, what's going on? Comic books, when is Vince running for president? Fucking never. And Genocide Circus, yeah, but Paul Heyman is actually good at what he does, which is facts, but he's also not family.
We're also talking about Paul Levesque.
I was talking about Paul Levesque. I was talking about Triple H. And Boston Science again, wait, y'all talking about wrestling? Yes, we talk about everything here on Blerds and Whiskey. We talk about wrestling, comic books, anime, everything we talk about here.
You like if it's nerdy, we got you.
There you
go.
You
should have came to the show last week and the week before when we was talking about
Harry Potter and fantasy and Game of Thrones and swords and magic.
And 74-year-old thoughts.
The old thought next door. That's when you should have came. We are multifaceted over here at Blerds and Whiskey, just in case you didn't know.
And real quick side note, this isn't on anything we prepared, but shout out to Cressley Cole. She dropped another book. I'm a fan of her work. So yeah, she dropped another book named Monroe. But anyway, so we talk about a plethora of different options here. All right, what's next?
Riri's pregnant, and apparently Drake is pissed off. He said, as soon as possible, Rocky got my girl Riri pregnant. So yeah, he's pissed off. Is
he openly pissed off, or is just people speculating about it?
He apparently he does the undermined shit by unfollowing you, and this
he unfollowed them.
Although we go to the end of
that's feeling real light skinned to me, and I don't like it.
Of course it is.
Let's go.
So yeah, I mean, but
it's unnatural.
Oh my God, we don't have the rights to that song.
Is he mad because he ran out of hot sauce? Is that it?
I don't know. I guess so, man. I mean,
so essentially, like the meme I posted like a week ago, Drake is pulling the Tyrese.
Check it out. Go ahead.
How many times has this nigga played Marvin's Room and called her phone crying into it?
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of that Future meme that goes around where he's on his phone and you know how like he be texting shit like just random stuff
hey,
like
big head.
That's what that reminds me of.
Dear God, has anybody ever been through that? Been through the forlorn lover bullshit?
Nah, I'm a grown ass man. If it's done, it's done. Like I'm not gonna love from afar.
I think everybody's got one that got away. I got one, and
maybe fourth grade, but they weren't pregnant.
Listen, you just got to record a song like Future, and then the chorus just talk about telling her father that you don't want So problematic.
Checking out the comments on Facebook, Johnny Jackson. You name it. This is why I said Drake looks like he cried during sex. Oh wow. What's up, Brenda Sager and Johnny? Like a full snotty Blair Witch cry. God damn. Oh man, let that man live.
I say it's technically it's more therapeutic than anything else, though.
Horace, shut up. Horace writes on YouTube, looks like Rocky got the real hot sauce. And then Jamaica said, yes, he unfollowed Rihanna first when they posted the pics of them in NY, and he unfollowed ASAP Rocky. Yeah, so.
Yo, move on. Let's get out of here. This subject. Yeah. This is dumb.
This is dumb.
It was funny, but this is dumb.
Pam and Tommy. And no, we're not talking about the one from Martin. Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee has a Hulu show starring with Seth Rogen. And I saw the first 3 episodes yesterday, and why, Trey? That one scene. I'm not even gonna say what it is. It's just go and watch.
It's not really about Pam and Tommy. It's more about the guy who
it is
who sold that tape. Okay, so all right. For those who are not aware, let's go. I was in high school during this time period, so I clearly remember, like, this is before the pre-internet. This is before, like, well, it was internet, but like before the internet became what the internet is nowadays. Back then, you only had like 4 websites. When the internet had Frontier, it was it was Wild Frontier on the internet. But no, someone had got a hold of one of Pam and Tommy's sex tapes, and then decided to sell it via internet. So through those orders, OG dark web. That's more like kind of like mid-afternoon web, because it wasn't like dark then. But it made lots of money and court cases and headlines. Mm-hmm. And this is during the whirlwind when Tommy and Pam were like super into each other, and PDA be damned, like everybody knew what they were into. So yeah,
it's a good show.
A Current Affair had a great run with it.
Yeah. like you said, it's not about it is about what is they're ancillary characters. They're not the main characters. And shout out to Johnny on Facebook. She says Lily Allen is an incredible Pam. She is. I almost forgot that wasn't Pam.
Yeah.
But it's really about Seth Rogen getting screwed over by Tommy Lee. And it's a revenge story. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's hilarious. There are various parts.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. I'm disagreeing with you.
Oh, okay. So you yell out. Okay. Yeah. So no, there's one part that you mentioned earlier. There's one part in episode 2 that Tommy Lee is unfortunately he's famously known in the 90s for having a very extensive member, and he's having a whole conversation where they animate his dick. Like it's hilarious. Like it's the whole conversation. I'm pretty sure a lot of dudes have had. Come on, man, are you taking this girl seriously? Yes, I am. Like it's that conversation that he's having. So it's fucking hilarious. I urge everybody to go watch it. It's on Hulu. But I threw it up there because I thought it was funny. We're all kids of the 90s. We all knew what the hell was going
on. But he turned that into, like, it didn't damage her career per se. Well, I mean, I don't know.
She was already a Playboy model, so
I don't think she was. I think she was just she just did Baywatch.
Yeah,
she did Playboy. She did
Playboy multiple.
She did Playboy.
Yeah, yeah, Playboy model. She did Baywatch. She did Barbed Wire.
I was about to say, didn't Barbed Wire come out before that?
I don't know when.
So like when the sex tape came out, in fairness, nobody was surprised that she had a sex tape. I mean,
no.
I was a kid at the time, and I wasn't shocked.
Okay, so here's the thing. It's not really. There was a shock factor to it because this was before celebrities was like actually putting shit out there. Before OnlyFans, this is like, you had to gain access to this stuff, and this was kind of like a sneak peek behind stuff. This is way before like open access to like everybody being out there. So you imagine no social media, no nothing. Here's a sex, like literally a tape. Like
I'm talking about my personal. And I was not shocked.
it was a camcorder recorded video, but shout out checking out the comments on YouTube.
I was watching pornos when I was 8 years old, so it was just like, oh, it's just somebody else having sex on film.
Yeah.
I like that's kind of how I look
I guess
at
the
it.
shock factor, the fact that they were celebrities and not just, these weren't porn stars. These were
The
celebrities.
shock factor was him driving a boat with his dick.
Well, to me, she was a porn star because I associated Playboy in my young mind with porn.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm still on. I mean, I didn't have access to Playboy back then, so
I didn't
for me,
either.
it was,
That's why I didn't know.
Yeah, for me, it was just the Spice Channel where you scramble the nipple, and
the A and B box. You dating yourself. You dating yourself with the A and B box.
Hey man, by the time we had the black box, I'm over here like clicking like crazy just to get descramble it.
You trying to quietly watch those channels you're not supposed to be watching to hear somebody moving. Then the box the box is snitch on you with that loud ass pop.
The last channel was on Cartoon Network. My dad never questioned why I was watching Cartoon Network at 3 a.m. when he could have sworn he heard. All I'm saying is I had the system down packed. I would do last channel and then a random channel because I know my dad would be hip. He would snatch the remote, hit last channel, and see that last channel is Home Shopping Network. He would look at me like he knew, but he couldn't prove it. Because the last channel was Home Shopping Network.
Got caught. Shout out, checking out the comments on YouTube, Genocide Service. I mean, everyone knew Tommy was deep into Pam and stripper. This is when the internet was in its infancy. Facts.
Yeah.
That's from the comic books. She was Maxim before before it was a thing. Yes. Okay. And Jamaica, so it was really nuanced thing of accessibility. Yes, because he uploaded it and made people pay for it and made millions of dollars off of it. So I'm pretty sure that was eventually taken away from him. But I mean, it's an interesting show. It's good for laughs. It's not overly raunchy. It's on Hulu, for God's sake. So I think everybody should give it a shot.
Episode 2 is definitely
shout out to Winter
raunchy as
Soldier.
fuck. Yeah, episode 2 is definitely raunchy. But,
oh my God, he is such a convincing Tommy Lee.
Moral of the story is pay your contractors.
So who do y'all think is a better Tommy Lee, MGK or Sebastian Stan?
Oh my God.
Who can survive a rap?
Definitely Sebastian. Definitely Sebastian. But so Showtime's documentaries have really been on a roll as of late because they have on February 11th, they have a documentary called Everything is Gonna Be All White. And if you look at the trailer on YouTube, it actually is like showing the reason why America is what it is with white people being white people, not the GWPs, just the racist ass all lives matter of white people. So if you get a chance, go and check that out. And as we close out the church announcements, guys, we are 997 followers on TikTok. We need to get to 3. So we need to get 3 more in order to get to 1,000 so we can start up live. So please go on our TikTok and follow us. It's just like really, man.
And make sure you go give Morita a follow. She's got some hilarious content that she didn't even realize is as funny as it is. Just go look at her last video. Go find her TikTok. Matter of fact, what's her TikTok name? Because she ain't gonna say it. She gonna tell us not to say it. I'm gonna put it out there.
She over here. She like I forgot it. Like, she like I forgot my own name.
Trying to figure out how I got put in this.
Because we're trying to get you. We're trying to get you blown up. Amor Rita, AMOR Rita, RITA_. Go follow her. She's hilarious. Her last video had me and her dying laughing.
Yeah. Herb, why'd you go such a roundabout way to say that? It could have been we're 3 followers away from 1,000, guys. Help us get this ready to go live. This nigga added 45 more words and went all over the map.
That's that.
Look, Trey went up.
Fuck.
One good thing though, Herb, what I will say is that your beard is bearding right now. I just wanted you to know that. And that was not a plug for a promo. I was just saying.
Oh.
But since we're here,
I mean,
hey Herb, why don't you tell the audience how you got that beard looking all beardy like on the beard tip?
So I went on to blerdsandwhiskey.com and went into the advertisements and go ahead and look under beard struggle. Beard Struggle is a place where you can go ahead and get your beard looking beardy. And, and you can go and get fragrances such as Freya's Bliss. You can get the conditioner and shampoo for your beards and brushes and everything of that nature. Please go to blerdsandwhiskey.com, go onto the promo page, put in the promo code BLERDS1 for 15% off on all your purchases.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Why does every light-skinned nigga with a fitted on and a beard look like Suge Knight, little brother? Why? Why does that happen?
I'm 6'3" and I'm just light-skinned, so and I'm bald. So automatically people just say that.
So in theory, what it is that when they start, I'm not. This is not me throwing shade. This is not me throwing shade. But when they start losing hair up top, they grow the beard out to distract and do something. Much. So it has to go somewhere. They have to condition something. So that's where the beard starts happening. And the hat thing is insecurities. So it all goes together. So
no, it is. It definitely is.
I'm not throwing shade because in 5 years I'm gonna be bald too. Whatever. I'm just saying.
If you have a good head shape and your mama cared enough to shape your head as an infant, it's okay to be bold. Now, for people who mama didn't love them enough to shape their head, I can understand.
Ain't nothing wrong with your head shape, dude.
There's nothing wrong with your head. Your mama shaped your head.
Peanut on top of my head. Anyway,
you called it, not us.
It's fine. It's
it
fine.
Is what it is.
It is what it is. That's fine. We don't head shame here.
It's fine.
Just go on. Mic on.
No. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and
that note was for OCG, by the way.
we're gonna go ahead and no. Jesus Christ.
So much dead air.
This mic is coming on, y'all.
OCG is quickly turning into Captain Dead Air.
No.
Are you gonna talk or not?
What are we doing?
All right,
we don't know.
Now I'm talking. All I was saying, it was a lot of people don't realize that you need to shape your baby's cranium. Peter brought up a good point. Now y'all got me on air. I was fine, just cracking jokes.
Oh, see,
Were
it
those
didn't sound like
jokes,
that.
though?
Too many words. It sounded like you wanted me to say something.
So yeah, let's go ahead and keep on going.
So speaking of documentaries that Weekend Her brought up, we actually had the drop of one that is a very poignant documentary, and I've openly said that I doubted the validity of claims until I watched this documentary. I'm talking about none other than the Bill Cosby. We need to talk about Cosby. This documentary definitely changed my perspective on this entire situation because I didn't realize how deep it went. And I never heard the personal accounts of the victims. So first and foremost, Trey Proper's going to apologize. Yeah, I was wrong. I feel like I'm wrong. Like, damn, this shit definitely changed my perspective because it opens a lot of doors we didn't get from just hearsay or, word of mouth from other people. We're hearing it straight from the horse's mouths. But yeah, people on the panel, what did you think of this documentary? Let's talk about Cosby.
You want to go first, Rick?
Yep, I sure do.
All right.
I'm going to apologize as well, because you kind of as a black man in America, when you hear about somebody who has such a stellar reputation and who was known for wanting to educate and wanting to uplift the community. You kind of get defensive of these people because America has a history of taking our leaders away from us, especially the positive ones. But then you begin to you go into this documentary and you watch it and you see people of note and people of upstanding reputations, and they start talking about this. I've been using the term since I watched it and since I brought it to the rest of the group. Bill Cosby is a supervillain, and he's a supervillain in every sense of the word. The things that he did, the way that he manipulated his stature and his his clout, so to speak, and his influence is Dr. Doom-esque. He tormented these women in every sense of the word, all of them. And it's shameful, it's horrendous, and it's monstrous. The things that Bill Cosby has done and did. It's troubling to watch. And you know, as you watch this documentary, you don't realize the influence that the things that he's done and things that he has been a part of, the effect that they had on you as a Black person growing up and watching it and seeing these things and seeing these positive images. You don't realize how much it affects you until you get about 2 episodes into this documentary. And then this massive cloud of shame overwhelms you. It sinks right into the very heart of your soul. And you go from being shocked by what you're hearing to just becoming utterly sad. I know that's what it was for me. I just became incredibly sad. I had to take breaks in between episodes because the things that you're hearing, you're hearing these things and you're looking, and you know it's true. You know what these people are saying to you is true because you're looking at them and you can see the pain inside these women's eyes. And it really is, it's shameful and it's disgusting. And Bill Cosby, sir, there's a special place in hell for people like you. And it's next to the special place in hell for the truly evil people. You have no right, and you are a disgusting human being. And people like you should not be around. I mean, that's honestly how I feel after this.
Me personally, I felt like this whole entire documentary was definitely unbiased. You had people who had good views on him, bad views on Cosby. You hear from comedians, lawyers, professors, authors, actors, people who loved him, hate him. You heard from the victims. I thought the documentary was great as far as the presentation is concerned. I just felt dirty. Just knowing, like I've always said, like, man, and since we're all at it, I apologize as well because I was one of those people back in Cosby until I seen this. And when you look at the subtle things that he did, like you look at how he was the reason why we have Black stuntmen. And I think about our homeboy Gary, who is a stuntman today. And it's just like, wow, if it wasn't for Cosby going out there and making sure, because for those who don't know and didn't see this, whenever they had stuntmen for people of color, they would go in blackface with white people. And then you would go ahead and just have somebody else fill in, even for the women. They would get a white guy, paint them black, and then go ahead and just, and not brown, black, and just have them just doing the stunts. He said, no, I'm going to have a Black stuntman. And it's just like when you see that, and then you see him talking about the Spanish Fly. I'm gonna let everybody else have their own little parts of it, but I mean, like that, and just to see what he did for Black people, and then do this heinous shit that he's did, I just feel like disgusted. It's just like, yeah.
Rita or Cam?
I personally feel like people sometimes get wrapped up in how much good someone does that they refuse to believe that somebody could behave this way or could act this way or could do something like that, because it tarnishes their view of this particular individual that they may admire, they may respect, they may idolize. And I feel like a lot of people, especially when it came to Bill Cosby, he was like the first father figure that a lot of people saw, you know, like on TV, that a lot of people looked up to, people aspired to. It was such a huge, intricate part of your life and your family on a television screen. So it's like not Heathcliff, he wouldn't have done, you know, nothing like that. And I feel like there's still, even with this documentary, there's still a lot of people who probably either refuse to watch it or don't want to watch it because they feel like, you know, people are lying. Mm-hmm. Or people are after his money. But you have to look at it this way. people who have access to absurd amount of money do a much better job at covering their trail because they have so much money. That doesn't mean this person is who you think that they are. He showed his true self to certain people and the image that he wanted to portray to other people. So it's sad because you never know how well you know somebody. And that's really what it boils down to. Like, you could tell that some of these women initially trusted this man and they ended up in this situation.
Yeah.
I have so much about this. I've always been into film and video and stuff like that. So I've always been a behind the scenes kind of guy. So a lot of when Bill Cosby's stuff has come to light, and I'm sitting here going back and I'm looking at like all the breadcrumbs that other people have said, especially those who aren't his fans, who aren't friends with him, who have been on the opposite side of him, have said certain things, but it's always been brushed off as, oh, that person's a hater, or they're just mad they're not as successful as Bill, or, because of the image that he has, it's kind of hard for people to imagine that what that person said, even in light or just a snippet of what that person said, is true. The thing about this documentary that Kamau Bell did was that each episode would highlight something that was good. It would highlight something that he did. It was very masterfully done. He'll highlight a moment that's like, oh, I remember this scene from Cosby, or yeah, he did this, or this was awesome. And then near the end of the episode, you're smacked with like the assault. The reality. Yeah. And it's like each episode, like you kind of almost to the point where you almost slightly forget of the atrocity. And then the atrocity, you're like, oh man. And like Rick said, like I made the mistake of trying to watch it straight through, and that was not wise. But I think the biggest issue that people have about this, especially the so many layers of why people have so many issues with this. You got, like I said, you got some people like, yes, there's an unjust system out there that's designed and systematically made against us. So you naturally want to be on the side of us. There's always like unfair treatment. There's always like a railroaded system. And you kind of be like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. And it's like, you want to, but it's like, sometimes the reality is like, not every Black person that's put on trial is innocent. I'm sorry. I know innocent until proven guilty, but like, and especially when it comes to famous people tend to like, can't separate the artist from the act. Yeah. And even worse, especially in how the nature of how people are, because the majority of sexual assaults happen not from some dude in a trench coat in an alley waiting for you to get off of work. No, it's some of y'all's best friends. It's some of y'all like your uncles. It's some of the people you trusted. It's that guy who has a convenience store on the corner that's a neighborhood staple. It's that guy who owns the community center. Those are the ones that people like try to hide, and it's like that's what makes these assault cases so difficult for people to accept, or for the people to like realize what's going on, is because they don't want to ruin the good thing. And that's the problem. Like Bill Cosby, Herb said, like the biggest issue is like, do we negate all the good that he has done because of the bad that he's done? Can we separate everything that he's accomplished? Like one of the first Black comedians, like Jackie Robinson, a comedy, one of the first Black comedians to go on a late night circuit, to break out into mainstream, to be a main character on a TV series. Like they're still showing like Amos and Andy and Bosco and all these other like the blaxploitation stuff.
Sambo, Mammy.
Yeah, the Sambo and stuff. And then you get like Bill Cosby, who is like a suave action character on I Spy, main television. And then You got like him headlining like tours, doing records, doing educational stuff. Like I grew up on Fat Albert syndication. The not Reading Rainbow, but the color thing he did with the art. You know, like I grew up with all that. We all love the Cosby Show. But then like, and everything that those shows and everything he has done, that's the first or higher or premiere or boundary or barrier breaking. And it's like, do we take that away because of what we know? That's the problem that people are having a hard time grasping, and that's why the title is "We Need to Talk About Bill Cosby."
Yeah,
and even just looking at it as far as like him putting his predatorial self into, like, for those of you who didn't even realize, what was Huxtable's character's profession? He was an OBGYN.
And where was his office located?
In the basement. So I mean, like, and then like it's just the barbecue scene. Like, oh, haven't you guys ever tried my barbecue?
The barbecue sauce scene.
Oh, God,
that's when it hit me, because I remember that scene as a little kid. Like, it must be really good barbecue. Why can't what's his name have some barbecue? It didn't dawn on me until I'm today years old, and I'm like, yo, he put something in the sauce that aroused people. What the hell?
Even the Spanish fly. Like he literally went in on what's the name of it, Larry King Live, and told them, he gave the blueprint to that shit. Like, that shit is crazy.
It was like, on record. Like one of his comedy specials, he's talked about the thing.
That Spanish fly joke is in several of his records.
Yeah. He gave the blueprint for that shit. He even made a drug album for kids, like the Just Say No thing, and talked about uppers and downers, and like just gave a very descriptive view on it. I mean, and at the same time, he's sitting there teaching us about Black history. Like, yeah, if we're going to talk about Black history, we need to talk about how Black people were taken away from their homeland, and like talk about the real history. And we're sitting here on his side, and then on the flip side, he's sitting there having the toxic relationships with his the people that's coming on Cosby. I mean, it's.
Well, I'll say this because we do have two other topics we get into, and I'll wrap it up with this. I'm sorry, but go watch the documentary. It's on Showtime. If you don't have Showtime, acquire it. Like I always say, give it a chance. Take a break in between. Go watch it, because there's a lot of things that people in our age range who are probably watching the show we're not privy to, that we didn't know about. I didn't know about his history before the Cosby Show. I knew about a couple of albums, so on and so forth. But go out and find out for yourself, because it changed my perspective. And I'm sorry for my comments in the past about personal accountability. I do apologize for that, because I was dead ass wrong, and I'm big enough man to say that. So go watch the documentary. Switching gears. Oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
I'm gonna say the final thing I'm gonna say about this is a Two-Face quote from Batman the Animated Series. It actually wasn't Two-Face, it was Rupert Thorne. The brighter the picture, the darker the negative.
Facts. All right, so we got to change gears. We got to change it up. And I'm passing over to Weekend Herb, because I don't give a fuck about what we're about to talk about next. Because we're talking about the foosball.
We were going to talk about the character of the week, which the homie Cam had just finished up not too long ago. And he even told us just now. So,
my bad.
Of the week.
I had a Herb moment. My bad.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Fuck. I think I had a little too much to drink today.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here.
This orange Jameson, boy.
Are we off?
Are we clear?
All right.
We're still here. That is character of the week. Happy Black History Month. Blerds and Whiskey presents today's character of the week, Bass Reeves. Now, ordinarily, when you think of like Westerns, you think of the hero with the white hat, six-shooter, shootout to OK Corral, Walker Texas Ranger, Lone Ranger, things like that. But you don't think of this gentleman, Bass Reeves. Born in 1838, he was born a slave, and because of his job without benefits, he was indoctrinated into that war, Civil War, fighting on the side that wanted to keep him. So essentially, him and his master had a dispute over a card game, and he turned his 2-week notice in the form of a punch.
I'm gonna punch you in your face, nigga, cause you a fucking...
Knowing the dire consequences and possibly getting lynched, he decided to flee to Native American territory, where he was safe there. By then, he also befriended the Seminole, the Creek, and the Cherokee. Once the war was over and he was declared a free man, he was safe to travel back. He was deputized, other than the fact that he was 6'2" and a strong person. He was deputized because he knew the land very well. A lot of the criminal element would flee to that land. So he knew the land well. He spoke several languages. He was a friendly face to the Native Americans, so he wasn't seen as an outsider. Now, he wasn't the first black man to become a lawman. However, history depicts a certain shade more than others when it comes to the revisioning of cowboys. So you don't really think of us. But although he wasn't the first, he was one of the best. Over 3,000 arrests. It didn't matter who the bounty was. He always got his man. He arrested his own son because he murdered his wife. He arrested his pastor who baptized him because he was selling bootleg liquor. Yeah, I don't know. That's something I should celebrate. I feel weird. Why would you arrest your son? Well, he did murder his wife. One of his greatest strengths, as far as being the lawman that made him gave him such a good reputation, is knew the land very well. He spoke several languages, but also he used his cunning and guile and detective skills to always get bounty. Not to say that he didn't still go through his fair share of discrimination, because let's be real, it's the 1800s. There have been times where his own co-workers would still discriminate against him because of his skin color. One time he got reprimanded for yelling at an inmate who was white. So essentially he got yelled at for doing his job. Because ACAB. An expert marksman with 2 6-shooters, a steel reserve, an unwavering constitution, made him a very reputable and feared lawman. Once criminals knew that it was Bass Reeves that was after him, they just turned themselves in. Is he Batman? Anyway, Black Hiroshima, we salute you. Bass Reeves, still ACAB. Back to you guys.
Like, share, subscribe.
It's not like we can smell it.
So hey
We can smell
everybody.
that shit.
Hey everybody.
Oh shit.
Hashtag Camism. Upload characters a week every Monday around like 9 or 11ish, depending on when I get up. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Horace, I'm looking at your comments on YouTube. I am 40. You are like what, 2 or 3 years younger than me. So you mean to tell me at the age of like 4 or 5, you knew what drugging people and slipping something in their drinks at 4 or 5? That's what you're trying to tell me, Horace? Because I was like 6 or 7, maybe 8 when that episode was airing, and you're like 3 or 4 years younger than me. So you mean to tell me you knew about Spanish Fly at 4 or 5?
If you did,
well, you had some in your sippy
we're
cup.
gonna have an offline conversation.
Yo, come on now, dog. Dog, come on now. That's cap. That's more cap than Steve Rogers. Anyway, Rita, you were about to say something?
Yeah, so I couldn't help but noticing in the video that you posted Morgan Freeman in there, right? And I feel like, without Googling, can anybody guess how old Morgan Freeman is? Because my guess is 502. But that's just me.
I would guess that he probably is Bass Reeves.
My whole life.
I'm the Batman.
So for a couple of reasons, I had to post that picture. One, it's the 1800s. They didn't have like Instagram back then, so there only was so many photos of Bass Reeves that I could put up. So like, anything I could find, I just posted. And 2, there is talks of Morgan Freeman possibly in works of, because the thing about Bass Reeves is that he's never had his actual own solo mainstream, I should say. I'm pretty sure he's had like a Hallmark movie, but he's never had a mainstream one.
So there's a comment
right,
on
who's
YouTube.
Who's going to play young Morgan? Like, I'm just
You got to get the de-age.
So there's a comment on YouTube that says, "Bring back Crowbar." Here's the crowbar of all crowbars. You know how Morgan Freeman / Bass Reeves was able to keep himself so young, virile, and to track down all of these out there criminalizing criminals? he was able to travel into the future and go on blerdsandwhiskey.com and click on our partners tab and go to FNXFit.com. FNX Fit has everything you need to be able to ride horseback for hours, to be able to track down criminals and put them in a headlock, or to be able to shoot two six-shooters at one time with your protein powders, with your pre-workouts, with your super green vitamins, with your fitness clothing that helps you stay dry in the hot desert as you're out there tracking down criminals. Use the promo code FNXBlerds13 to get 15% off all your purchases from PhoenixFit.com so you can track down criminals like the great Bass Freeman.
Bass Freeman, okay. I took the name Freeman because I was no longer a slave.
Crowbarred the shit out of that.
But there is supposed talks of Morgan Freeman playing Bass Reeves. He's been played by Delroy Lindo. He's been played by a lot of people as a main and side character in a lot of westerns, like a side mention. But he's never actually been they've never actually done a whole story on Bass Reeves. So
I just want them to do a Lone Ranger movie with Bass Reeves as the Lone Ranger because that's who the character's based on.
Yep.
White America. Instead of having Johnny Depp play a damn Native American. That's such a stupid ass movie. I'm glad it lost $250 million.
I wonder if they did Walker Texas Ranger, because he had a black deputy or black sidekick in that show. I wonder if he was like descendant of Bass Reeves.
Walker Texas Ranger wasn't a show. That was just Chuck Norris doing stuff in his free time.
Wait, who is trolling in the comments? Who is Ceciling 1000 subscribers?
I was about to say
get the fuck off.
Oh no, because they could be legitimately asking the question.
No, that's a bot.
That's definitely a bot.
That is a bot-like question.
How many of y'all have tried this? They're asking about the Phoenix Fit.
That has nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Yeah, Trey, come on. Well, if you don't, you naive. Okay. Yo, that made me mad. That made me mad. You go here trying to give a bot a chance. What are you, iRobot? Will Smith?
It's OCG sister.
Oh, my bad.
Wait, no, it's not. Really?
Shit. My bad.
That's not Eric's sister.
Flip of the week.
I told her that her YouTube name is ridiculous. Yes, that's my sister.
Oh shit!
I didn't know she grew up.
Look at the fucking screen. Apologize, motherfucker.
Well, you just made it to the clip of the week.
I apologize to Trey. I shouldn't have snapped. I apologize to Kobe because I did not know you were a real person.
Up to it. Down to it.
Big Herb, if you will, explain for everybody the journey that you've had in your weight loss while using Phoenix Fit, if you will.
Oh, shit. So, yes, I went on the Phoenix Fit and just started using some of their products. And I said, I'm going to try to do my best to go ahead and lose this weight because I started off the year at 426 pounds. Yes, that much. Currently, I am at 411, and I'm still on my weight loss journey to try to lose this weight. Thank you very much. But since we're on the topic of fitness, why don't we go on to our next topic, which is the football team decided to change their name. The
Eric's without hair
team, formerly known as the Redskins, had changed their name to the Washington Commanders. For starters, I think the name is shit. Like we all thought it was. As far as like the uniforms, I thought they were pretty cool. But yeah, let's just talk about the incompetence of a owner who said that we will never change that name.
No. Look, man, I've been part of like so many franchises that change its name. That happens a lot. So let's not act like the Washington football team is like the first, only, and worst of these name changes. Second of all, give it a year or two. You're not even going to care. You're going to go hail to the Commanders. You're going to it's going to be second nature. Like, do y'all even remember the Bullets? Seriously.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I don't remember the Bullets, but y'all even like y'all like come on now.
So really and truly, most of the fervor is from white people who can't let stuff go and who can't change. There's a good number of black people who still keep using that racist name that I don't say anymore. But here's the thing. This is, and I tweeted about this actually. Yes, I made an appearance on social media to say something. I don't understand. Just because you're letting go of a racist name does not mean that you're letting go of your childhood memories and the good times that happened when you were sitting there with your father, sneaking some of his beer, or with your mom and your whole family or your uncle watching those games as a child. Just because the name goes doesn't mean that you have to let go of those memories. Excuse me, you fucking idiots. It's not, you're not letting go of that. Those times are still there. They're still in your mind. But the fact is, it is a racist name and you have to transition into something else. Let it the fuck go. Just like we would like to let that little stupid ass owner go, but there are other things that are hindering that from coming. I'm looking at you, Roger Goodell, you son of a bitch. But I really need for people to transition out of this. Yes, Commanders sucks. Yes, we all wanted Red Wolves, but guess what is better than that racist term that was used to refer to Native Americans? Because guess what? The owner who put that name in place was
racist.
He was a racist, guys. He did it for racist reasons. So hanging on to that is like hanging on to, I don't know what, Jim Crow laws, or maybe slavery, or maybe that people of color are inferior to you. That's what it's like hanging on to. So maybe let's transition. And like he said in 40-Year-Old Virgin, let's move forward amicably. And let's move forward to this brighter future as the fucking Commanders. Even though I really wanted Red Wolves so that I could go to the game in my NWO Wolfpack shit and throw up the 2 sweet and come out to Wolfpack as mass destruction. Guess who's back? The bad boys of wrestling.
But I mean, just to say, like, Rick is 100% right on this. The one thing I will say about this.
Wait. You were just never mind.
No. Here's the thing. Because if you looked at Herb's blurbs this week while you was insulting me when the show started, you would understand what I'm talking about.
Ooh,
so,
spicy.
Let's go here.
Yes.
Let's go. As far as what I was saying earlier is, yes, the name sucks, but at the same time, if you win, we don't care. You could be the Cucamonga Cracker Killers. I mean, it don't matter. You can go ahead and prosper if you actually start winning. Nobody will care. We're just at the point right now where we can insult this shit because hell to the commander, what's the name? The Commanders sounds like hell. Hell to the commies. Hell to the commies. It just sounds fun. It's like
here we go. We're gonna have an introduction between, like, I'm gonna introduce him right now. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Off Camera Guy.
The Washington football team 1,000 subscribers go. Make sure y'all follow, like, share, subscribe. That's yeah. Y'all don't get it.
How you gonna ask them motherfuckers to get 1,000 subscribers? We still ain't got 1,000 subscribers on goddamn TikTok. Give us 1,000 damn subscribers. The hell? I'm watching the rest of that team. Fuck them.
Why am I?
Oh, that was her name? Oh, my bad. I done fucked up. I've been drinking too much. I had too much fun.
Why are we
moving on to the next part of this?
Anyway, up to it.
And other,
this is gonna end it, man. Let's leave the show while I'm mad.
Real quick, because I really want to talk about this. In other NFL news, former head coach of the Miami Dolphins and black man Brian Flores brought a suit against the NFL at the very first day of Black History Month. Revolution will be televised for racist hiring policies in the NFL against with black head coaches. Brian Flores, if you don't know, he's been the coach of the Miami Dolphins for the past 3 years. He actually got them their first back-to-back winning seasons since 2002, 2003, and the Dolphins immediately showed him the door and guess why they said? Because he's angry and hard to work with, right? So, of course, they would use the angry black man trope against him when these white... yeah, exactly. But when white coaches do this, they're just called passionate, and their will to win is great. But when a black man does it, it's unsettling. You make me uncomfortable. You're so angry. You're hard to work with. I want this to become a thing. I want other coaches to get involved with this. I want everybody, at some point, in order for us to bring about change, people have to understand that there needs to be sacrifice. And Brian Flores is 40 years old, and essentially what he's doing is, and some people, there's talk that he's a finalist for the Houston Texans job. Nobody wants that fucking job, but anyway. But essentially what he's doing is he's bringing an end to his NFL coaching career. Because if one thing these old white fuckers have shown is that they're petty and they hold grudges when you bring about when you challenge their authoritarian nature, when you challenge their dictatorship. And for the sake of doing what's right, Brian Flores is putting everything on the line and just saying, no, it's not right. I'm being brought, like, he was brought in to interview for the Giants head coaching job, but his mentor, Bill Belichick, who's an old white guy who doesn't know how to work a cell phone, sent a text message to the wrong Brian saying, oh yeah, I heard they're going with Brian Daboll with their head coach. And this was days before they made the announcement. And it's shameful, it's shocking, and on a personal side, as a black man who's a football coach who knows a lot of fucking football, I know a lot of football. I promise you guys I do. The fact that we don't get taken seriously in these professions as leaders of these organizations, as leaders of these schools, it pisses me off. It takes me to a point of rage that I haven't experienced in a long time in my life, because we know just as much as everybody else, but once again, we are held to a higher standard. We are forced to do things 3 times as much as the next person in order, Lovie Smith took the Chicago Bears to a Super Bowl and then was let go years later. The Bears haven't sniffed a fucking Super Bowl since '86.
A playoff.
And they immediately ushered him out the door. Eric Bieniemy, who is, I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here. Eric Bieniemy is the offensive coordinator. He's the offensive coordinator of Kansas City Chiefs. Andy Reid, who is the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, has said several times over and over and over again, I don't call the plays. That's Eric. He's the one running the offense. Patrick Mahomes says it. But every time, people always use the excuse, oh, he's not getting a job because he doesn't call the plays. The white guy who's the head coach says he calls the play. He calls the plays. But yet still, we move the goalpost again. There are tons of white coaches who get these chances over and over again. Adam Gase, who I know for a fact, who used to be the head coach of the Jets, is a known cokehead. He is a cocaine addict, and he's getting another shot as an offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. So which means in 2 years, he's going to get another head coaching opportunity. But yet again, there are black men who never get these opportunities to coach again. Tyrone Willingham was the head coach of Notre Dame. He kept them at the same middle of the pack level that they were at, and they ushered his ass out of there, and he never got another head coaching job. It's shameful, and it's horrendous what the NFL does to us, because we work just as hard, if not harder than everybody else, and they continually put us in the trash compactor every time for the sake of these old white fuckers not wanting to hire somebody that doesn't look like them.
I'll even go on to tag on this too. What's the dude's name that's in the running for the Texas job? Josh McCown. This motherfucker was coaching high school football 2 years ago. Last year. For the last 2 years. And guess what? He had 2 interviews to coach a national football team, and just because. And I mean, you look at it like Rick just said, Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy has been to 4 straight AFC championships. Guess what, everybody? Nobody else has done that. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. Won. His quarterback is arguably the best quarterback in the league right now. I mean, you look at guys such as what's the name? The Cowboys offensive coordinator is looked at.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore is looked at as a fucking genius right now, because he can't even win a playoff game. But yet Eric Bieniemy has been to numerous championship games. You look at another situation as far as with Brian Flores, where he's not even taken serious in the interviews, because the Broncos came into the interview late, also came in drunk, and is just belligerent throughout the whole entire process. You look at other coaches. What was the coach last year for the Texans? Black guy.
David Culley.
David Culley was basically the scapegoat for the reason why they failed this year with the Houston Texans, and he was fired.
Before we wrap it up, I gotta say this. This is why I don't watch that shit no more. The emotions that you guys are feeling. This is why. No, this is just me. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying this is why I can't get into it. I don't give a fuck about the team names. I don't give a fuck about the players. I don't care because they're gonna treat us like slaves. They're gonna treat us like cattle. They're gonna treat us like shit. We're gonna wear your body out, wear your mind out, stress yourself till you ready to put something in your body that's gonna make you take yourself out. I'm not gonna say the word here on the channel, but I refuse to support it. I refuse. I'm not doing it anymore. I can't do it. Every Sunday, friends and family of mine are consistently pissed off, angry, upset, disappointed, and dejected. People change teams. It doesn't matter. I can't do it no more. This is why I'm done. Don't ask me no shit about no who's playing for who. Trey don't give a fuck. Trey don't care no more. Because the same emotions that y'all feel, the same feelings that these people go through, the same bullshit, they've been doing it for years. They've been doing it for damn near more than 100 years. Like, in every aspect of sport. So I tap out on it. Like, I'm done with it. Like, fuck football, fuck all of it. That's how I feel.
Shout out to the NBA though, because the NBA running a team, the whole entire league pretty solid. So I mean, you actually have people minority.
I got a quick interjection about the whole coach thing, because I mean, maybe because also I'm in a predominantly black area, but like in my mind, when I think of coaches, especially like little league, community, high school, all the coaches I've ever known have always been a person of color. Mm-hmm. And also has always been like a positive experience. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's where I see it as. And then like even in mainstream, like you see like a lot of like high school, like I don't know, this is how mainstream coaches, this is how coaches are shown in like, you know, mainstream, you know, TV, movies or whatever. Like the high school coaches, especially dealing with young kids and dealing with impressionable, like, you know what I'm saying, there's a molding time right there. That is a time where they develop who they are as a person and fond memories of either the game, life, or, you know, or whatever. But the coaches is very responsible, and it probably goes back to the mystical Negro trope. But a lot of high school people always depict coaches being a person of color or black. Yeah, they're tough, and yet they're, you know, was it tough, firm, yet fair, or whatever the coach, you know what I'm saying, they're tough on them, but it's tough love, you know what I mean? And then like we get to college and pro, this is what they show as far as mainstream media. When they get to college or pro, then they become like white coaches and stuff like that. So I mean, I wonder if that also has an effect on the perception of people and coaches, because like as long as they're like not making money and doing stuff in the community and helping the kids out, they're good being person of color. But the moment, because you know, most of the coaches, if they were white, they were like a high school standout that never made it out of town, so you just stay town and then start teaching other kids what to do. But like black coaches are like mentors, father figures, you know, going above and beyond. Like, I can teach you how to run this play, or I can show you how you can go through this character development in your life and get you through the story arc.
So
go ahead, Rick.
I tell all of my boys that I coach, I don't just make great football players. I make great men. That's my job. My job is to make you a great man for when you leave away from me. Because to be honest with you, I tell, again, all of my boys know my phone is always on. I don't give a shit what I'm doing, where I'm at. You text me, you call me if you're in trouble, if you need whatever. I don't just reach out to me. Don't just do something without reaching out to me. I'm always there for you. And I say that to them because I, unlike most people, I know the experience when you move on to the next level, right? Once you go past high school, it becomes a business. And they will tell you that they love you. They will tell you that they care about you, and they don't. You are a number to help them keep the money in their pocket so they can feed their family. That's how most of these coaches feed their families. So they're going to tell you whatever you want to hear to keep you playing hard, but in actuality, it doesn't really exist. You know? So My job is to prepare them for life past where they're at. And the unfortunate part is a lot of coaches who make it to the NFL level, they lose that because you get caught up in the business of everything. And unfortunately, a lot of these Black men who are up for these jobs right now, they have a lot of the same motivations that I do because they've been through it. That's why you have somebody like Byron. If Byron Leftwich, who is the offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who's also a DC guy, if he were to when he gets a head coaching job, he's going to continue on a lot of these tropes because a lot of people in our generation, we've seen what it is from the other side. We've seen both sides of the coin, and we don't want to continue on this toxic shit. And these NFL owners, what they're doing, like, again, they are continuing to hinder our advancement as a people because we have to educate each other at every level. We have to continue to pay it forward because if we don't, then we repeat the same mistakes and we repeat the same travesties. And they're hindering that progress by not putting these men in place to lead these other Black men with all this influence and this power and this money and help them put the right foot forward instead of continuing on these tropes where we see guys who are burnt out of the league and broke at the age of 28, 27. You know what I mean? They've made millions of dollars. They have no money because there was no one there to help guide them along the right way that actually cared about them.
And just to piggyback on what you're saying, Rick and Cam, the one person who I can honestly say that I see just at least publicly that that is following the same direction that you guys are talking about is Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. Even as far as to where he even brought, I forget the girl's name, he brought one of the biggest social media ladies that Brittany Renner brought her in to say, hey, this is how the whole entire situation is when you get to the next level. But also you need to go ahead and fix your life first. Take care of yourself. This is the this is the ways of the beast that you need to go ahead and fix yourself first. And then, okay, when you get yourself situated, then you can go and have fun and everything. Just take care of yourself first. Do exactly what Rick is saying and what Cam was bringing up earlier. And that's what I see with Coach Prime. And hopefully we can have that later on in the future. Like, hopefully there's change. But honestly, I don't see it anytime soon. I hope I'm wrong that it's never going to happen. But yeah, it's just, yeah. By the way, since we're pretty much getting ready to end the show. Oh, Cam, you guys say something?
Yeah. One, I'm gonna give a shout out to the comments because Aaron Toll is
nothing.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's something.
It's fine. Go ahead.
Because I'm gonna give a shout out to the comments because Aaron Toll is definitely speaking some real truth on Facebook about how political the coaches are in Nova. But I also specifically want to give a shout out to Jamaica on YouTube because she says that's how we get to movies like Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans always has a special place in my heart for me specifically, and I'll upload the picture in a minute once on the fan page and afterwards. Everyone remembers that movie Remember the Titans and everything else about what that movie was about. It was about a local Virginia high school, T.C. Williams, that was in the middle of segregated town in Virginia that decided to integrate, and part of that integration was taking the football team from the black school and taking the football team from the white school and putting them in that same school. That, obviously was a big deal to that town of hatred, but somehow through the power of football and winning undefeated streak, they put that town together. Now, my personal stake in that is my family is from Virginia, and I have uncles and aunts and people who say they're uncles and aunts on my mom's side of the family that was involved in that. My uncle was the actual blue from that from the Titans. So Remember the Titans was always like us, because there's a picture of my uncle with Denzel Washington, on my mom's,
mantle.
Yeah, mantle, because she had a thing for Denzel Washington. Not gonna go there. But yeah, like movies like that always have like a feel good moment, special feel to me, especially since my uncle had already passed. And when he passed, I can't, dude. It's gonna have to be what it is.
Keep going.
So when my uncle, when he passed, the remaining Titans took a picture around, because my uncle was cremated. They took a picture of like around my uncle's picture, and I just took a picture thinking, oh, okay, it's a cool moment, and it didn't hit me till like after I took that picture, like, yo, this is history right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna upload that picture later, but yeah, like the remaining members of the Titans took a picture surrounding my uncle. So yeah, so whenever I see that movie, it always has like a it's just So I don't know how to end it, but I love that movie. I love.
So because I'm sorry, but very last thing that we closed out, predictions for the big game, because we did kind of advertise.
Before we go there, Rita, did you have anything that you wanted to add on to it? Okay. Rams in a close game for the victory. I'm not going to do a score.
I'm gonna go ahead and predict the commercials are gonna suck because commercials ain't been good.
You stole that.
No, I was never really big into football, but whenever the WrestleMania footballs come on, I was always interested in the commercials because that would be the debut of like what you're gonna watch for like a whole year, like the best and longest and the most actual like played out commercials would appear on a Super Bowl of sports. That was always like the premier stuff for it, and like I don't know, man. Like commercials ain't been good since 2002, so we'll see.
All right, Rick Stroh.
Cincinnati 38, LA 24.
Amorita.
I'm gonna go with Cincinnati because I have a friend who's a Bengals fan, so I'm gonna go with Cincy for that reason.
All right. Going with the Rams. I have no idea why. Just going against the grain. That's it.
Well,
I like blue.
With this whole entire talk, we should bring back sports and whiskey. But guys, it's been fun. Very knowledgeable talk that we had today. And knowledgeable.
No, you said knowledgeable, but
okay.
Well, he meant like it was a good way to steer on water.
Yeah, it's I'm kind of drunk right now.
The troubled waters of the show.
Like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms, and as always, up to it, down to it. Fuck those who don't do it. We do it because we used to it. Drink, motherfucker.
Right.
I may be unfocused on screen, but I am focused on you.
Shut up! Shut up! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and that technicolor rainbow in between, it's your boy Trey Proper.
It's your boy Big Herb.
And thank you for watching Blerds and Whiskey.
Be sure to like, share, subscribe on all social media platforms.
And check us out on blerdsandwhiskey.com.
Be sure to get that merch.
And come take this shot.